Hello and welcome to another Model Dad's video review. Today we're looking at 3 ranges of unpainted resin scenery made by relative newcomer James Resins. James Resins is a one-man manufacturer of Flames of War scenery, currently operating out of eBay and at game shows. There's 3 separate ranges available which we'll have a look at in this review. These are Bocage, Minefields and Barbed Wire entanglements. All models come unpainted and are cast in Jessamite resin, which is just like plaster of Paris but is more durable, resistant to impact, dimensionally stable in large parts and easy to pigment. It can also be easily drilled, filed, gouged and glued onto. Let's start by having a look at the Bocage. The Bocage range consists of 20 different items, all of which are one-piece resin models. Pieces range from 4 to 20 centimeters long and are either straight, L-shaped, T-shaped or X-shaped in appearance. Each piece is 4 centimeters wide with a beveled edge and stands approximately 2.5 centimeters high. As you can see, each of the pieces in this range are sturdy and cleanly cast with no mould lines or flash and few visible air pockets. Other pieces in the range have gaps modelled with centre or off-centre gaps with a choice of small, medium or large tracks modelled to represent the passage of armoured fighting vehicles. It's important to stress that these pieces come unpainted. This may be a blessing or a bane dependent upon how much time and modelling skills you have. It's down to you how you want to model your Bocage. Debates rage on some forums regarding the appearance of Bocage. Personally, the clearly defined stonework fails to accurately resemble the low ridges and banks so characteristic of southern and western Normandy. This doesn't prevent it from being modelled as such, as Chris's piece here on the right shows, but it does require more work. If you are happy with this discrepancy, the clearly apparent stone walling does stand out on the table and facilitates the identification of this type of terrain. Costs range from £2.40 to £4, which is relatively high when compared to the slightly smaller but pre-painted, flocked and clumped examples from other independent manufacturers. With this in mind, we give these pieces 2 out of 5. Minefields. There are 6 individually sculpted minefields, each meeting the statutory 20 cm by 5 cm requirements for fortifications in Flames of War. Once again, each piece is cast in Jessamite resin and has a solid, comfortable feel about it. There are no mould lines or flash present, and no air pockets or bubbles visible. All of the minefields have semi-uncovered mines with rocks and stones moulded into the model, as well as 7 to 8 brass rods embedded around the edge of the base to be used as a picket fence. A really nice touch. Unfortunately, barbed wire is not supplied. Some pieces have craters modelled, presumably from some poor unfortunate. The mines represented are larger than scale, which some may find problematic. Personally, I don't. Once again, the pieces come unpainted, but completed examples show what can be achieved with a bit of time, talent, flock and static grass. At £4 each, these pieces are cheaper than their Battlefront competition and have the additional benefit of being able to be bought separately without the anti-tank obstacles that ship as part of the battlefield in a box range. That said, they are not painted and require a little work to get them ready for your tabletop. 3.5 out of 5. Barbed wire. There are 6 individually sculpted entanglements, each meeting that 20 cm by 5 cm requirement for fortifications in Flames of War. As I said, once each piece is cast in Jessamite resin and has a very solid, comfortable and feel about it. Again, no mould lines or flash are present with no air pockets or bubbles remaining. All the barbed wire entanglements have rocks and stones moulded into them. Some have craters caused by artillery bombardments, others are undamaged. Bases have between 16 to 20 embedded brass rods into each model to wrap your barbed wire and wire coils around. Once again, barbed wire is not supplied. These embedded brass rods set this range apart from the competition. The brass rod is embedded into the model during the casting process and is set solid into the piece. That said, the rod can still be reasonably bent out of shape and re-straightened without fear of damaging the model. Rods can also be snipped off and filed down to suit your individual needs. The positioning of the brass rods enables the creation of very authentic looking entanglements. Once created, the barbed wire is extremely resilient, unlike the coils of barbed wire on other competitors' products. With a few deft twists and some canny painting, finished pieces give you an idea of what can really be achieved. At £4 each, these pieces are cheaper than the Battlefront competition and have all the benefits of the barbed wire entanglements or the minefields I just talked about earlier. They still require a little bit of work and expense to get ready, but the potential offered by the brass rods really sets these pieces apart. 5 out of 5.
You want to have anybody turn their tables? Model hands.